Hello, everybody. Everybody's doing well. Another fine day where I'm at. Got paid today because we're coming on the weekend and the first land's on a Sunday, so we got paid today. It's a little rough. You know, pretty soon it's gonna get rougher, I already know. But all I can say is, gotta do the best we can, I guess. Well, we got the rent paid, we got our errands payments done. We got a little this and that at Walmart, what we needed. That's another day in the West. And that's basically what it is, another day in the West. We're coming on March, hang on. We're coming on March, so naturally, St. Patrick's Day is coming up. And I like to get all dressed up, so if we end up having a day where he goes for the mail, and I can show you. But I got a few of my earrings, like this. And these, I thought they were cute, because they have little hearts and little things and sparkly bow ties. Then these, even though I don't drink beer, I still thought they looked kind of pretty. So, there you go. That's that. And, I'm not as much Irish as I thought I was, but still in the blood. So, my first name is Irish. And it's the Gaelic form of the name Cecilia. The way things are. I didn't pick my name. My mother did. Bless her heart. And one of my friends on Facebook lost her mother. I knew the lady personally, and I didn't dislike her, but I didn't like the fact she said a lot of stuff she shouldn't have said. But, that's water on the bridge. I forgave her a long time ago. I would have talked to her if she would have wanted to talk, instead of, making remarks about my son, who lost part of his education because of her, but, it wasn't all her fault, took care to make that decision too, so. But any kid would stop going to school, they were going to get money out of the deal. So it's not just, one. But it's not like she wasn't a bad person, though. I don't think she was a bad person. I just think that, we got to the point where, we didn't, neither of us nor her got along with each other, and I got along better with her daughter, to tell you the truth. But, it is what it is, Like I said, I already forgave her for all the crap she did. She said. She didn't do anything physical. it was mainly, putting my son down, putting me down, and thinking she, went over our best friends, because believe me, they would have took my side, especially one particular one. But, I can't say anything really negative about her. She wasn't that bad. She had her own problems, and I never got quite into the details of her problems, but, she did have her own problems, you know. And I just hope, she went peacefully, and in her sleep with no pain, because nobody wants to die with pain, believe me. I want my last memory of a feeling to be pain. But we shall see. I don't, like I said, I don't hold grudges. I wasn't mad at her to begin with. I mean, I got over it a long time ago. That's why I never, sent anything back at her when she'd put down my son. Say stuff that she didn't know my son after. He stopped hanging around with him, so I don't know where she got her ideas, but that's okay. So, like I said, water under the bridge. I just hope that, her girls will be okay. But right now, we're trying to find where we can get a couch and we can send this back. And then I want to find a full mattress for that, where we can send that mattress back, because it's bad enough what we have to deal with. Yeah, that Aaron's out here says it's mandatory, or you have to use Easy Pay, and I don't think that's right, because people use different cards to pay bills sometimes. Hey. But I try not to, let things bother me. I've never been that way. I always thought, life is life, gotta handle it when you gotta handle it. Take everything one step at a time, I guess you could call it. I mean, I try to be easy to get along with. I try to be. It's not easy to get along with a lot of people. I'm more of the type, well, do as you feel, as long as you don't hurt me or anybody else. But just make sure, you don't hurt yourself either in the long run. Because that's what basically can happen. I mean, I still wanna go back to California. Not that I don't like here. I mean, I like it here. I especially like this because it's red. It's just we gotta take one day at a time, and I'm not gonna down Texas either, nor any other state. Each got your own thing going on. But this is a Trump state, and everybody knows that, and I deal with it because, like I said, my daughter-in-law, especially my daughter-in-law, I'm not sure about how my son actually feels about it, but my daughter-in-law is a Republican. that girl's never had to struggle until now, and she's not realizing, you know, the rents are too high. And the reason why the rents are too high is because the people that own the property that you're renting on are getting high mortgage payments. And it's, they have to make up the difference. And I understand that, this business. But, I mean, for like something like this, even $7.49 is a little much. That should include the utilities, period. But that's just my opinion, Everybody has their own opinion, and they're allowed to. But I'm wearing a Bronx t-shirt representing my mother's hometown, or home borough, I should say. It wasn't really a hometown. I mean, it's all one big city, but it's where she was born and raised. So, if it were just a town, it'd be her hometown. And she never really got rid of her Bronx accent. It lightened up. I'll tell you, it lightened up a little bit, but she never really got rid of it. And if I stand there and talk to somebody that's from that state or from the city, I'll start sounding like them. It's like if I start talking about somebody from here, I'll start sounding like I'm from here when I'm not. And I don't claim to be from here. I don't claim to be even from, where I lived for 40 years. I adopted Fontana as a hometown because my hometown, or city I should say, is all the way in Europe. And, I've been there, I was born there the first time and went back with my dad 2 other times. And they didn't leave us on the posts, on the army posts. They would rent places outside so we could experience, the German food, German people, German everything, because of us being German. But we never got to get to the north part. The northernest I think we went was probably Karlsruhe, because, let's see, Augsburg is in Bavaria, and Kreilsheim, which is a small little city. It's a city, but it's really small. It's like by Stuttgart. It's closer to Nuremberg, though. So it's like in that area, which is, I think, Baden-Württemberg, maybe? And I know it's close by Schwäbisch Hall, too, but anyway, this is a little hub there. It's probably about the size of, it's hard to tell. Probably about the size of Mount Clemens by itself, just by itself. I think. But the boundaries between the size of Mount Clemens is, which is in Michigan. So if anybody's from Michigan, and you're from that area, by Detroit, you know where I'm talking about. So it's like like about that size, but it's still a city. I mean, it's stretched out since I lived there. And we didn't live in Kreilsheim. We lived first on McKee Barracks. Then we moved to a little town called Jagstein, which is a small little country town. It was filled with farmers. It's grown a little bit, but I mean, I could walk it in like 20 minutes from where I lived to the beginning of it. That's how small it is. Believe me, It was such a cute little town, and the people were they're very friendly, and a lot of them were still old enough to live through World War II, or even the people we knew that we call Mama and Papa, that lived in a small town by Augsburg. He was a regular German army soldier. You know, I'm sure he fought, but that doesn't mean he believed in what Hitler said. A lot of them did it, but they had to keep their mouth shut. So, that's basically what's going on today. Is this payday, paid bills, and that was it. I probably won't be able to buy anything off Tumi this month, this month. And, God only knows what next month's going to look like. I just have to keep praying and hoping that, nothing goes awry. It's so hard to live off of it. And once my check does turn over, we're only going to have 1,800 and something. So that's why we have to find, used to replace these ones. The mattress and the couch. Because it's bad enough we have to pay for Gary's couch. I mean, as another thing, we got another couch that looks exactly the same, except that right there, just is on that side. That's the only difference. Same color and everything. Different kind of looking pillows, though, but other than that, Okay, well, oops, almost lost my footing there. Take care of yourselves, because you can't replace everything. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope that everybody has a good day, and I will probably load up another one tomorrow. And if you have a question, go to the comments, write it out. Or I might even put it in, answer you through the video. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.